while there are many options for an RV park nearby here in Tombstone, we decided to stay at a Harvest Host location and dry camp for the past 5 days. So here we are at Survey and 3rd, and it's walking distance to all the main attractions in Tombstone on Allen Street. So this is another option if you don't want to go to an RV park and hook up, and you can just dry camp here.
So when we're dry camping, we rely on 4 different things. First of all, power. Secondly, water. Thirdly, heating and cooking. And fourthly, and it's a nice luxury to have, internet, of course. How do we conserve water when we're boondocking? Well, it's quite simple. It's like a game. The more water we can conserve, the longer we can stay out. I wouldn't say we're extremists, but we do try our best. So before we came to Tombstone, we filled up our tank to about 5/8. Our Airstream takes 39 gallons, so that's probably about 24 gallons of water that we took with us to this dry camping spot here. The biggest uses of water: toilet, showering and dishwashing. Now when we shower, and Steph will tell you this, it's military style. We burn through about 1 gallon every 2 minutes. It's in and out, really. It's as fast as you can go. Because long hot showers, you're going to use up your water and you're going to have to go home.
Dry shampoo and wipes are a lady's best friend.
One way we conserve water with regards to dishwashing is we don't use dishes, we use paper plates. So that definitely helps. And what I like to do typically is, rather than heat up an entire big tank of water just to wash some dishes, I will find the biggest pot I use when I cooked, I'll fill it with water and with soap, and I'll put it back on the stove and I'll heat it with the propane until it's hot. And I'll put all the cutlery in there and I'll wash all the cutlery. And then I'll rinse all the cutlery at the same time. And the same goes with the cups and the mugs as well. And that saves a hell of a lot of water, it really does. How do we know how much water we've used and how much we've got left? We use the water meter. The meter's not always accurate, but it's good enough. Flushing the style toilet that we have doesn't use nearly half as much as a residential toilet. So that's pretty good. That helps with dry camping. It always helps if you're out and about to use other people's facilities. Thank you very much, Buckies. Much appreciated. For this trip, we actually haven't shocked our freshwater tank, so I don't think it would be advisable to be drinking from that, but for bathing, for dishwashing, things like that is fine. So we have been buying gallon water. So we're getting through about 1 gallon between 2 people and 1 dog, which is about right. So when you're boondocking, it is typically too expensive to use electricity to heat yourself. So that's why we have 2 30-pound propane tanks on board. It costs about $50 or so to fill those 2 combined, depending upon where you are in the country, of course. We use the propane for our heating, for our cooking needs, and also for our refrigeration needs as well. And at night, when it dips below freezing, it's essential to have your furnace running, I would say. Our Airstream is a 4-season trailer, but you definitely still need to have your propane running with your furnace to keep the underbelly of the Airstream warm enough so that the pipes don't freeze. Otherwise, you're going to have one hell of a problem. But during the day, of course, out in Arizona, it's beautiful. We don't need propane. The sun warms up that tin can real nice. So with regards to power, we have a lithium battery setup that I installed a couple of years ago in the Airstream. We also have 600 watt solar panels on top of the Airstream, and in addition to that, another 200 on top of the truck cap. And I'm able to plug the truck cap into the system as needed, basically.
All right, so here we have the wire that connects to the solar panels on the truck, and Daniel MacGyvered this in here. So tell us what you did.
Yeah, so basically the wires from the solar panels come down the back of the refrigerator, and then I put on these extra tails here. And what these extra tails allow me to do is to tie in the solar panels that are up on top of the truck cap, basically. So when we're not going anywhere, we're boondocking, I can just plug this in, and it gives us a nice boost.
Gives
about
us
another 100 watts
yeah,
this time of year.
an extra 100.
And that's it.
And of course, since we're hitched up, this is how it is. But if we're unhooked, we can position the truck in any direction to make it, easier to hook this up.
And the dog over there totally agrees with everything you say. So how do we monitor our batteries? We use the Victron app. The Victron app shows us all the incoming solar and also the outgoing from the battery shunt as well. So they're very useful metrics to have when you're trying to manage your power when you're boondocking. So how much power we're using? Well, we know that our inverter uses about 40 watts of power. We know that our Starlink internet uses around about 40 watts of power when it's on full blast. Also, we have to run a refrigerator, and we have a propane / electric fridge, and I think they're quite good because they give you two different options, and that uses about 40 watts of power just to keep the electrics going on that. When we need water, our water pump comes on and pumps the water out of the tank into the tap, to the toilet, or to the shower, all of those things, and that probably uses about, it spikes up and it probably uses about 100 watts of power at a go. We also like to watch TV at night sometimes, and that can take a chunk as well. During the workday, hopefully it's sunny, and out here in Arizona in Tombstone, we've had sunny days pretty much every day, which is great. That allows us to charge our batteries up during the day, and it's in the winter right now, so during the winter months there's less daylight during the day, but also the angle of the sun is low in the skies. In addition to that as well, the solar panels are flat on the truck and also the Airstream. So we're only getting around this time of year about 50% of its full potential capability. In a 24-hour period, we're using about 25% of our 230 amp hour batteries. And on a good day, we're charging about 20%. So we're losing about 5% every day. And based on my calculations, that's going to take us for about 20 days before we're going to be in trouble and run out of power. However, on a weekend, if we switch off the inverter and the internet and all those other things, we're able to reclaim about 30%. So 2 days of that gives us a nice bump. So Steph found these really cool solar lights that I really like. We just put them outside. They've got solar panels on top, and they'll charge during the day, and we can use them inside at night. And if we need extra light, we have these string LED lights that we like to use as well, and it kind of looks cool, like we're having a little party in the Airstream. We'll also leave the internet running during the night in case we wake up in the middle of the night and we have to check our Instagram feeds. No, not really, but we do. We do leave the furnace on during the night at about 60 degrees Fahrenheit on the thermostat, which just takes to chill out the air and is actually quite comfortable. So in addition to the lithium batteries, we also have a small blue eddy battery, which we found pretty invaluable. We use that to charge our cameras, to charge our laptops, and any other small devices that we might need to. And this just kind of takes the edge off the lithium batteries and allows us to keep going even more. Dry camping is kind of like a fun game where you've got to keep an eye on your resources and you've got to use as least amount of them as possible, otherwise you go home early.
As we mentioned in our other video, we upgraded our Starlink to the mini Starlink, and that takes up a lot less energy, which actually is helping us here boondocking. This one takes about 40, as Daniel mentioned, about 40 watts when it's very active, and we can actually take it along in the truck. We are here in Tombstone, Arizona, and today we're going to walk around and show you the RV parks that are walkable to the main street in Tombstone, where all the Western gunfight and attractions are. So stick around and we'll show you what's around. We'll also show you some of the attractions in Tombstone.
Okay, so this is the Wells Fargo RV park. We're literally a block away from the OK Corral down there. So it is the closest place you're going to find if you have an RV. We're on 2nd and Allen Street. That's the address. Now when we first came to Tombstone, this was the RV park we stayed in, and it was okay. It's just everyone's packed in a little tightly, as you can see. So you have to be sure that you are good at parking your rig.
So it's kind of like a good place for you to park and walk to all the main street here. So really convenient. I forgot how much it was.
Nice owners.
Yeah. Right now it's pretty empty, but when we came, every site was pretty full. So
yeah, prices may vary.
Yeah. All right, so here we have Stampede RV Resort. It is on Allen Street, a few blocks away from Wells Fargo RV Park. Looks like they have cabins here too, so if you need lodging, this is an option here. Let's go across the street and see how it looks. A lot of sites. Very nice, looks all leveled.
Yeah, it's concrete pads and some of them too.
Yeah, concrete pads. Another thing to be cautious to look out for when you're around the Arizona, New Mexico area, or if you have dogs and you walk them, what are they? Goat head thorns. They're like seeds, and they're like really, they get stuck in the dog's paws. And when Abby walks, you can tell she'll start limping, and then she'll stop and she'll look at you, and we have to take the thorns out. They're pretty sharp too. So they're not nice.
And they get stuck to your shoes too.
They get stuck to your shoes, the soles of your shoes. So I would recommend having a pair of boots just in case you really need to put them on the dog when you walk around.
So a lot of people think that Tombstone is going to be really stinking hot, but from what we've heard from the locals, it's quite a temperate climate because we're at altitude here, about I think 4,800,
something like
that. And you know, we found since we've been here, and of course it's the winter time, but it's nice and warm during the day, probably in the 60s, and then at night it drops down to about 35, somewhere around there. So it's almost like the perfect weather, to be honest.
Low, like mid 30s, and then usually 40s, and then during the summer they say, yeah, it gets hot, but it's not. It's like a month of like heat, no real humidity. So a lot of people that we spoke with moved here from the north and really liking it.
Here's another option. We're on Survey and 3rd Street. You've got the Shootout Arena RV Park. It's dry camping down there, and I believe you leave paying a drop box. I'm not sure how much it costs, but anyway, there you go. Not many people there, but definitely an option. And we're not far from the courthouse, and therefore not far from the OK Corral, so all walkable from here. RV camping is $10 a night in the Shootout Arena. This is the car park here for day parking, but down there is where the actual RV parking is. One of the cool things you can do in Tombstone is visit the old courthouse. It's actually a state park now, and it's again $10 to get in, but definitely worth having a look around. Here's an attraction here, the White's Hotel. It's got a gunfight show daily. I'm not sure how much it costs, but seems to be quite popular with people. The Four Deuces Saloon, it's a good bar for a drink. If you're looking for breakfast, the OK Cafe, we ate in there this morning. Really good, great service. 1960s, okay. Wow, look at this, it's a chunk of gold. So who was the maker?
Jack Atakai. He did less than 5 pieces in gold.
Wow. It's very rare to see gold and turquoise together. One of the main attractions in Tombstone is the OK Corral gunfight site, where they have the gunfight reenactment several times during the day. Let's have a look what time the shows are. If you can see that. 11, 1 and 3. So as well as the horse-drawn carriages, they also have these Tombstone trolley tours around town. There's the Rose Bush Museum, and apparently it has the world's largest rose bush inside. Might be worth checking out. On this side you have the old Tombstone Western town. There's a museum with a lot of artifacts in there, and they have gunfights every day as well. So might be worth checking out.
Okay, we're walking down on Allen Street past all of the happenings, and about a quarter mile from there you have another RV park. Silverbelt RV Park. Yeah, in this RV park you can rent Airstreams as your camper. I see about 3 in there. They have laundry here. There's a laundry parking space there. It looks quite small, but let's walk towards. Yeah, nice views. Let's walk to the back and see if there's more space, but it's quite small and tight, but looks cute. So yeah, I think that's about the whole park, RV park, about a block. How many spaces do you think they'll have? How many sites?
I don't know, I'm thinking maybe no more than
5?
8.
Oh, 8, including the Airstreams
5
park.
to 8.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
5 to 8 open ones maybe, and the other ones are taken up by the vintage silver bullet looking ones where you can rent. Oh, they have a fireplace. Looks nice. So again, this is a Silverbelt RV park. Here on 7th Street and Fremont, which is like the main road coming into town, you have a Trail Riders Inn motel and a mini RV park. So let's go take a gander down here. I like the cacti in the front. Really nice.
Nice view.
Yeah, nice views. There you go. Straight out of the park. Let's go see. I wonder if that's for rent. I guess this part is the RV. Yeah, this section here is the RV site.
3 spots. 4 spots.
Looks like about 4 spots for your RV. And then here is the inn.